So if you still had any doubts that we were not going to use time travel in some way, well, that was just completely axed and thrown off the table, because Yu gains his brother's time leap ability and uses it to go back to the past and save his little sister. So as I said many weeks ago, she was going to be saved. I knew for a fact the way it was going, the way she died, the way we were introduced to time leap and stuff like that. It was very obvious to see that she would come back. And that's kind of what this episode does. It has it to where we come to find out the efforts and troubles that Yu's brother went through to be able to make a world to where people with abilities can be able to live and coexist with normal society. And that's kind of what the entire episode is about. And so this episode is very different from actually previous episodes we have seen. I mean, and the only closest episode that I can compare with this episode of Charlotte to other episodes would probably be last week's episode when we found out about, the time leap and then, the looting ability, different things like that. And kind of with this is the only episode that kind of is similar to that, but it is different in its own way, because Yu's brother, he goes back in the past, and he constantly has to keep redoing history over and over. For instance, going back in the past using his time leap ability to be able to change things to where he can make a school system or any type of system to where they can all live in peace without being experimented on and locked away because of crazy fucking scientists. And the episode got the point across. It goes to show you the struggles of Yu's brother and what he had to go through to be able to accomplish what he did, and also what he is willing to sacrifice to be able to make a world for people with abilities can live in. For instance, we come to find out why Yu's brother is blind. We finally figured that out. So, it's not in one use you go blind, it's where if Yu's brother uses his ability, his time leap ability, he will slowly go blind. For instance, his eyesight will get worse and worse as he continues to use it. So it's not an instant, loss of eyesight as soon as you use it. But then this brings up a huge fucking question now. The girl that was introduced right before we were introduced to, these different worlds and stuff because of time leap, the singer girl, she was blind, and I highly doubt that girl was introduced with blindness right before we're introduced to Yu's brother. I highly doubt she was introduced just to be there and just to be a blind girl singer. I highly doubt that. She has more purpose, and I'm willing to bet she at one point in her time had abilities, and she lost that ability and lost her eyesight because of those abilities. You get my point. So I believe that singer, maybe she might have had some form of time travel. That is a good possibility. Remember when I said a couple weeks ago that most likely she's going to have some form of time travel? That link between Yu's brother and her now. The blindness. So it might not be time travel, but it could be something similar to it because of the eyesight ordeal. But regardless of that, this raises a huge question with this episode, because I don't think many might actually realize this or not, but there is something very bad about this timeline that we're in right now, which I am going to believe is going to cause some form of issues next week in Charlotte. See, after the events of the little sister's death, and what we saw Yu go through to where he was having a mental breakdown and then now saved him, an episode after that, or 2 episodes after that, we saw it to where Nell's brother got healed. He was better once again, thanks to the blind singer. Thanks to the blind singer, he was fixed. Now think about this. That means since he went back in the past with time leap to save his sister, that means there is a good possibility, or there is a possibility, it's already certain, that Nell's brother is not fixed and won't get fixed. Because what if the singer does something different? What if the singer doesn't really come? Think about it. I mean, now that you see that, you have to wonder, because what if the singer came because of the collapse of the school? Like, think about it. What if that band came to this area in Japan because of the school collapsing with Ayumi when, what shit happened? Maybe the band decided to go there to kind of cheer up the entire area, the town. There is some bands that actually do that. So what if Ayumi being saved indirectly causes it to where that band doesn't show up to save Nell's brother? But even then, right now, her brother is not even saved right now. He's still fucking mentally insane. And so, I feel like that's where the drama is going to lead into next week. You want to know why? Because we have a couple more episodes. The series is not done. And with this drama plot point already being settled, which I expected it to be dragged out until the finale, that brings up an entirely new issue. See, since now we know that Yu has the ability, he can steal abilities from others, that means that if he steals the abilities from someone, they can't use their abilities anymore. But, if he uses Time Leap, he will slowly go blind. And on top of this, with the issue of Nao's brother not really being healed right now, and also with multiple episodes left, I feel like Yu's going to be in a situation where something very bad is going to happen, and he's going to have to use his Time Leap multiple times to be able to save whoever, maybe save his sister once again, maybe save Nao, maybe save her brother, maybe save his older brother. I mean, I feel like Yu is going to have to use his abilities once again, the Time Leap ability, and it's going to cause him to go blind, and then the series is going to end on a happily ever after conclusion. Probably what's going to happen for the series. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about this week's episode of Charlotte? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? I love you all. Please be safe. Chibi out.